Have you ever seen someone do something incredible with their memory and just thought, wow, they have to be a genius? Well, what if I told you that genius isn't really something you're born with, it's something you can actually build? Okay, let's get into it.
Get this, less than 13 seconds. That is the world record for memorizing the exact order of a shuffled 52-card deck. I mean, that sounds completely impossible, right? Like something only a few people with super brains could ever do. But is that really the case?
And that brings us to the big question here. Are these amazing abilities some kind of rare genetic gift? Or are they a skill that pretty much anyone, yeah, including you, could actually learn? The answer is probably not what you think.
So first, let's just bust this myth of the super brain wide open. The people who do this stuff for a living, mental athletes, they tell a totally different story.
This is Boris Conrad. Now, he's not just a memory champion, he's also a neuroscientist who literally studies memory. And his take on it, it's crystal clear. He says he wasn't born with some special gift. He built this ability from the ground up, starting with a totally normal memory.
And look, Boris is not an outlier here. This is what you hear from all the world's best mental athletes. Whether they're memorizing hundreds of random numbers or the names of every single person in a huge room, they all insist, this isn't magic. It's the result of specific techniques that you can learn.
Okay, so if it's a technique, what is it?
Well, it turns out it's an ancient method that can literally, physically rewire the connections in your brain. It's called the memory palace, sometimes known as the method of loci. And this is not some new age brain hack. This strategy goes all the way back to ancient Greece. The whole idea is to take boring, abstract information and turn it into these vivid, memorable images, and then mentally place them in a location you know inside and out, like your own home. And the process itself is actually pretty simple. First, you just pick a place you know by heart, your apartment, your walk to work, whatever. Then, you take what you need to remember and you turn it into a crazy, unforgettable image. And honestly, the weirder, the better. You mentally stick that image somewhere specific, like on your kitchen counter. Then, to remember the info, you just take a mental walk through your place and see the images you left for yourself. Here is a perfect example from memory athlete Daniel Kiloff. Say you wanted to remember the phrase, cultivate curiosity. You wouldn't just repeat the words over and over. No, you'd picture something totally bizarre and concrete, like the NASA Curiosity rover just driving around your bedroom. That's an image that's going to stick. This all sounds fantastic, but does it have a real physical impact on your brain? Or is it just a clever party trick? Well, neuroscientists at Radboud University wanted to find out for sure. And the results were just incredible. They took a group of people with totally average memories and had them practice with the memory palace for about 30 minutes a day. After only 40 days, brain scans showed that their brain connectivity had physically changed. It started to look a lot more like the brain patterns you see in elite memory champions. See, here's the thing. This is about so much more than just memorizing cards or numbers. When you train your brain this way, you start to unlock a more flexible, more creative, and just a more powerful way of thinking. It's about developing a true mindset of genius. One of the biggest hurdles to creative thinking is just bias. For beginners, the trap is often their own unexamined beliefs, but experts have their own trap too. They can get blinded by what they already know, which makes it really hard to see new ideas. A genius mindset is all about learning how to sidestep both of those traps. So how do you actually cultivate this mindset? Well, it starts with a few principles. You have to keep your ideas in a liquid state, because the second an idea becomes solid, it stops growing. You have to understand that real innovation often means you gotta break the rules. The focus then shifts to the ultimate meta skill, which is learning how to learn better. And maybe most importantly, you have to find the grit to push through all that self-doubt and actually finish what you start.
Alright, so let's see how all these ideas come together in the real world, especially in the super competitive world of mind sports.
What's so fascinating is that the top players in mind sports, they don't just study the game. A huge part of their training is focused on psychological skills you can build. Things like maintaining an insane level of focus, keeping your cool under massive pressure, and this one's huge, having the resilience to bounce back instantly after you make a mistake. And these trained skills go way beyond just strategy games. They open the door to other amazing feats, like mental math, where super complex calculations are solved in a flash, not with brute force, but with these elegant mental shortcuts. This is such a cool example of how something that seems impossible becomes simple once you know the method. So how would you calculate 26 times 34 in your head? Looks pretty tough, right? Okay, but check this out. Just find the number exactly in the middle of 26 and 34. That's 30. Easy. Now, how far is each number from that middle point? 4, right? You with me? Okay, now for the cool part. You just square the middle number, 30 times 30 is 900, and subtract the square of the distance. 4 times 4 is 16. So 900 minus 16 is 884. Boom, that's your answer. It's not magic at all, it's just a method.
So, we've gone through memory palaces, brain scans, even some cool mental math. But what does all of this actually mean for you, in your life?
This quote from Daniel Kilov it really nails it. If our capacity for genius isn't based on some natural-born talent, but it's based on what we know and the techniques we learn, well then that is a total game changer. All those limits we think we have, they just kind of disappear.
Look, the main takeaway here is really simple. It's about empowerment. That feeling of awe you get when you see a mental athlete perform, it's not because they're some different species of human. It's because you're seeing a highly trained mind using a method that's available to anyone who's willing to put in the time to learn it.
So genius isn't a prerequisite, it's a process. It's something you actively build day after day, technique by technique. Which really just leaves one final thought. What are you going to build with your mind?